Yakuza 3, some say Blockuza 3. This game is a true system shock coming from the smooth experience of Kiwami 2's Dragon Engine, gameplay-wise, graphics-wise, but also story-wise, with Sayama suddenly eating herself out of relevance, and Kiryu fucking off to Okinawa where he now runs an orphanage, which surely will not soon be in the center of a nation-spanning Yakuza conspiracy. And John Yakuza has been experiencing not much but pain for 2 games straight now, and has decided to dedicate his efforts to raising Haruka and a whole new batch of orphans on the shores of the beautiful Okinawa, far from the mainland and its harrowing memories. Before his departure, he says his goodbyes to his lover, who got a sweet job offer in America and won't be back anytime soon, and his other lover, who's really keen on having one more domestic dispute before he leaves. In the post-coital talk, Majima promises to become personal servant to Daigo, the recently appointed Tojo chairman number 6. Finally, Kiryu lives the life of a carefree man. He does still face problems, including bullying, stealing, and more bullying still, but it is a mostly peaceful existence he navigates with relative ease. But time passes, and his problems become ever so slightly more familiar. The local Yakuza family has been threatening the Morning Glory orphanage with letters promising forced eviction, which annoys him greatly and motivates him to carry out forced eviction of blood from their faces in retaliation. In old Yakuza fashion, attacking this family actually leads to them becoming friends, and now he has a new crew here in Okinawa. Family Lieutenant, Rikiya, the boss, Nakahara, and this guy. They chill AF together now but soon face a problem. There's more Yakuza here, and those guys kinda suck quite frankly. Led by this leisure suit Larry-looking ass guy. They kidnap the chief's adopted mute daughter with the helping hand of a biological bitch mother. But John Orphanage knows how to save a family in trouble with his fists. Now you may wonder what all these Yakuza want, so here's the deal. There's 2 competing proposals for building shit in Okinawa. A military base for increased safety towards foreign interests, backed by this guy, and a big resort plan, backed by this guy. The former has barely any public support here, the latter, some. And for the latter, land which is currently occupied, including the orphanage, must be flattened. To tie it all together, a bunch of groups, including the Tojo, which includes Leisure Suit Asshole's little Okinawa Tojo offshoot, want a piece of the pie, which is why they try to support it from the shadows by gaining the necessary land through a rather unkind means, in exchange for money. So, after all, Kiryu is once again at the very center of a nation-spanning bona fide Yakuza conspiracy. Now Nakahara shows his eternal gratitude for saving his daughter and insists that Kiryu must become his brother. And it just so happens that Daigo is here, offering to oversee this oath of brotherhood. He also explains that, while the Tojo once sought to go after the profits offered by the resort plan, Daigo immediately changed his tune once he knew that it would happen to the detriment of his dragon. All problems seem solved now, and then a year passes, and then pain. What now happens is what was seen in the prologue of the game. Daigo has a visitor who seems a little too familiar, the spitting image of Kazama Shintaro, who proceeds to shoot Daigo. A similar, yes very similar fate befalls Nakahara. He is also shot, and also by a man who looks very familiar. And with that, Kiryu is, once again, after everything seemed so solved just a year ago, fully entrenched in this Yakuza conspiracy. He has become much like a man saying horse on the beach indeed. He knows that he must return to Tokyo once more. Rikiya wants to join, and Kiryu has an idea for a really funny prank. He tells Rikiya that they'll go together, when in fact, they won't. Before he leaves, he must take on something scarier than Yakuza. 3 harbingers of doom. Racism, a dog, and a helicopter-carrying mum who faces off against Ricky in a drip-off, which he wins, until reality sets in, revealing both to be losers. As he completely fails the drip check, which has historical precedence. We also meet Mac, a curious fellow who helps us appreciating truly beautiful moments in life, such as backflipping grandmas and sexual harassment. And this. Kiryu has his own Dragon of Dojima blog now. It truly is the 2000s. On his way to setting out though, he is disturbed by these annoying ass characters who we are familiar with from the last 2 games. Whoever chose to make these of all people recurring characters, be better. What the shit? In the meantime, the chief officers of the Tojo clan are brewing up ideas about what to do with this situation. Kashiwagi and Mine want Kiryu to be a temporary chairman to help this bizarre state of affairs. Kanda hates Kiryu and everyone and screams a lot and is generally quite annoying about everything. And Hamazaki wants to kill Chinese people. Back in his hood, Kiryu, as always, finds trouble brewing at Stardust. As always, Yuya and Kazuki are trying to mitigate that trouble. And, as always, is the damn Nishikiyama family creating that trouble. Our late great Kyodai's family is trying to take control of Kamurocho. And after taking care of these pests, the lead pest tells us of the plot to kill Kashiwagi. On the way to meeting Kashi, we run into 4 men in black. After defeating them, Kiryu spots another man in black in certain ways, and racially profiles him to be part of this gang of hooligans. Turns out it's just our old friend Mac once again. Story, bruv. Up in the Millennium Tower, Kiryu and Kashiwagi convene to try and come up with what the hell to do. What also comes up is a helicopter, mowing Kashiwagi the fuck down. And thus, he might just be the deadest guy ever made. Surely there's no way anybody could ever come back from this. With the fire of revenge kindled within him, and Kashi's dying words tip of this whole thing being an old-fashioned Tojo clan inside job, John Yakuza runs off into the dark of night, away from curious onlookers and policemen. The only policeman, or rather former policeman turned journalist, who can catch up with him is Date, who shows him into the renovated New Serena. The conversation spurs Kiryu on to go after Kanda, who might be the mysterious shooter's Tojo accomplice. This Kanda guy is basically Shimano ordered on Wish.com, but also he got those Dojima sex pest genes, and spent some time in the joint like Kazama did. Well, like basically every Yakuza ever did, I guess. He truly is the amalgamation of all Yakuza before him. Sadly, only the bad parts. Rikia has teleported to Tokyo as well, against his Aniki's wishes, and has us going to every damn combini in town to find him. Even with him here though, we must face Kanda, presumed evil mastermind. We learn from some goons being menaces to society that Kanda is holed up at a love hotel, trying to get a girl he can massage. Yeah right, he be looking for them thick queens for real though. The boys waltz into the love hotel, but there's an issue with this. Only couples are allowed in. Well, issue no more, for Rikia and Kiryu come out as gay lovers. We stan gay icons out in these spots. The scheme having worked, Kiryu starts harassing random occupants of the hotel. We do not stan anti-privacy icons in these parts. I must say the Yakuza series really does give a lot of cultural insight into Japanese society. Just a tad bit too much at some points. Anyway, this starts the goofiest ass chase yet seen in Yakuza. Well, there will be competition. The chase ends in the sweet room, where the two massive men fight. And also say Gex, I think? Both help in beating him into being submissive and breedable, into submission, and ready to talk. According to our good friend here, the true mastermind must be Hamasaki, who has been empire building over in Yokohama, and who is getting ready to add the Kamurocho expansion pack to his collection. After leaving Kanda, the two go on a night on the old town, in a sequence that can only be described as peak Kino. We learn that our friend here can protect, like this girl that's a complete dickhead to him, and attack, like this tattoo man who did nothing wrong, but also he has some respect to speak for his Aniki's uncle who loved cold noodles. Ooh, a real one, man. Getting some more information from Date, it seems Hamasaki is not acting alone, rather allegedly having another man in the Tojo clan helping him, none other than Mad Dog Majima himself. Kiryu can't believe that this here man could ever have bad intentions, so he goes to find him, and to find him means fight him. Of course he isn't actually being evil, he was just trolling a bit. Hamasaki is being pretty evil though, trying to get the resort pushed through, behind Daigo's comatose back. Familiar face the florist spawns. This is his lair after all, and shows us another all too familiar face. That of evil Chinese mafia man Lau Kalong, who is doing evil Chinese mafia things, working with Hamasaki. And in typical Kiryu fashion, he quickly chases him down, fights him, and defeats him. Now even though Lau Kalong is defeated, Rikia is close to his demise. Kiryu can't do anything about it, but just in time, another familiar face shows up, the face of Kazama Shintaro. He shoots the Chinese, saves Rikia, and exclaims words that shall ring through eternity.
Beautiful eyes, like I had from my brother before.
And what that means, who can say? Oh, and Lau Kalong was also shot, straight into the head. I don't think we'll ever see him again. There's no way anybody could ever come back from this. Next, Minette visits our little crew of delinquents, and he has a present for us, as he wants Kiryu to get ahead. This is very humorous, because his present is a head. From Kanda, specifically. For Mina realized that that guy was kinda a slight dick sometimes. Also seems like Hamasaki, who was working with the Chinese, is either gone from the country or gone from this very world. And so we get to chapter 9, the plot. It was a surprise, to be sure, when I realized that RGG Studios took the name of this chapter to heart, completely literally. Made it a 45-minute long sequence of the military build chief man explaining all the intricacies of the plans of all people involved. He doesn't stop yapping. Okay, so basically, military man knows Joji Kazama, Shintaro Kazama's brother, as they used to work together on the force. Joji is now a CIA man, and the CIA is trying to use this proposed military base that supposedly has some high-tech weaponry as bait to lure out an evil organization known as Burakku Mondei.
Burakku Mondei. Burakku Mondei. Burakku Mondei. Burakku Mondei.
Which are the strange men in black, but not Mac. The resort plan and the military bill were both needed, as the military bill alone would have never been palatable enough to the public. The military bill is not meant to come to fruition, as it has already worked to lure out Black Monday. So certain players wanted to pass the resort for monetary gain, some wanted to find and destroy Black Monday, and Black Monday wanted secret military tech. All this is quite the mess, but our goals now are simple. We need to stop Joji from killing the military chief exposition guy's former assistant, we need to stop Black Monday, and we need to stop Mine, who is now the top Yakuza trying to bring the evil plans to fruition. Kiryu returns to Okinawa, and with that, we begin the final leg of the game. Before any of the important stuff, Exposition Man tells us we have some free time, so it's natural that we spend this time with the orphans. We learn that these orphans harbor some secret talents. Ayako got that supersonic speed run, Haruka is an expert drug dealer, and Taichi has mastered the legendary Taichi kick, a technique so mighty it has a 90% chance of killing its user. The to-be assassinated man is on the move now, and so is the to have assassinated the to-be assassinated man, and so is the hopefully to have stopped the to have assassinated the to-be assassinated man. We go to a strip club, strictly on business, and go stop the familiar faced man. We fight Joji, our adoptive uncle. Who fortunately for us has become too old for this shit. All seems good and well, until Taichi runs in and tells us about the most unfortunate event. Mine, one of the more morally grey antagonists of Yakuza, had gone to tear down the orphanage and told a bunch of orphans that they're worthless scum parasites leeching off adults, which is obviously very different from other children. After this comically evil act, his goons, namely this leisure suit asshole from earlier in the game, kidnaps Nakahara and brings him to the bull ring. Mikio almost fucking dies protecting a doghouse, but well, almost. Before heading to the bull ring, Kiryu makes it clear that Mickey is not to follow him there, because if he does, he will die. Once Kiryu arrives there, Rikia also arrives. Uh-oh. Nakahara is thrown into the bull pit and wields the power of fatherhood to destroy the bulls. Kiryu, meanwhile, fights the evil Yakuza goons including Red Man and kills them just enough to not pose a threat anymore. All is well, everybody lives. We have emerged victorious from this altercation. But wait, we have fallen for the oldest trick in the book. While the gun-wielding Redman had been defeated, he is still conscious, and the gun was left in his vicinity. And the most lethal weapon in the world of Yakuza, sadly, is a gun left on the ground. He aims for Kiryu, but Rikia does another classic Yakuza move. The old move in front of another person being shot move. The cutscene bullet is lethal, and this time, Joji could not shoot in time to save Rikia. This whole thing was a distraction job, by the way, as Mine is already long on his way to Tokyo. But there's some good news at least. Joji lets us use his kinda crazy with its secret CIA supersonic jet to quickly get to Kamurocho to catch up to Mine. Why did you take me with you? One important thing to mention is that while Mine is being pretty evil, he does, if nothing else, respect Daigo. In fact, he respects him so much that he annihilates one of his goons for shit-talking him. After arriving in Tokyo, while visiting Daigo at the hospital, Mine gets an important phone call, telling him hello.
Okay, got it.
And asking him if there are changes in the plan.
No. There's no change in the plan. Bye.
Kiryu too soon arrives at Daigo's hospital room, where Daigo is, in fact, supposed to be. But he isn't. Instead, who he finds here is the off-brand Wesker Mr. CIA operative, who exclusively talks to the Japanese monolingual in English.
I'd have killed you when first we met.
It's good that Kiryu learned English earlier in a side quest in Okinawa. As per Mr. CEO of CIA, Mine has taken Daigo to the roof.
Mine's taken him up to the roof.
To the what?
The roof.
To the rough.
Roof.
He doesn't just let him go to the rough like that though, instead having 2 consecutive fights. On the rough, Mine and Daigo wait. Well, Daigo doesn't have too much choice on the matter really. Mine reveals his incredible plan, which was to kill Daigo because he hates vegetables. After all, he never had parents to teach him to love him, rather seeing the only man he loves and admires dead than in this state. He also reveals that he had a sad backstory. That's a cool motive, brother, but you know, still murder. Mine must be stopped, and so it is time to rip off our shirts and fight. After the classic clash of ideals, all seems like it could be fine, Mina's ideals having been challenged, until the real bad guy, CIA man and secret ringleader of Black Monday, Andre Richardson, shows up to be even more comically evil than Mina once was. All hope seems lost, but the evil man made one crucial mistake, leaving Daigo in reach of a gun.
What?
After all, the numbers have been crunched, and Daigo with a gun is the most lethal of all Yakuza characters. He awakes from his coma at a time that could not be more convenient, and guns down all the CIA Black Monday goons. Sadly, son of Richard survives, and starts being evil still.
Kill you all!
But Mina has decided to be less evil. He starts monologuing about how much he loves Daigo and maybe also Kiryu now, and how he wishes to be less evil. Yet he is evil, so the only thing he can do is take Richardson with him. Have him comically spotting inane English diarrhea while Mina is monologuing, and then sublex him into certain doom. Now, get me on record with this. Neither of these characters will ever grace the screen of an RGG Studios title ever again. They are dead, for good. There's no way anybody could ever come back from this. After all this, RGG realized that they didn't do a fake-out death for Kiryu in this game, so they bring back Hamasaki from his sleep with the fishies to do just that. And after the credits have rolled, Kiryu lives happily ever after with his kids, and nobody can ever take that away from him, unless there's more games with him. But surely. Ah, fuck.